We will see who joins, if anyone. If anyone. It's been a minute. Been a minute. Oh, let's see. Hey, Wes. Hello. I'm giving it a minute for, notifications to go out, that sort of thing. So, when you come on in, say hello. Hello, Magoo. You're telling me it's been a long time. Well worth it for me, but a long time. Hey, Dwayne. Hi, John. How are you? Oh, I can see a pup in the profile pic, but it's so small that I can't make out. What kind of dog do you have? Hey, Rich. How are you? Well, you guys, I'm chilling in Florida. Literally chilling in Florida. Typically, my main reason for coming to Florida is for sunshine, and that backfired this time around. It's been raining since yesterday. Oh, I bet you she's adorable. Chihuahua and Shih Tzu. What do you call that? A Shih Tzu? A Chihuahua? You know how they mix them? But yeah, it's chilly. I turned on the heat last night in the truck, and I was a little dismayed at waking up in strong overcast. You can kind of see back here. So I had hoped for a weekend in Florida with sunshine, but I got to load out today, so that's okay. That's okay. But I'm in the old Pete. I've learned over time, like a few months, not to say a lot of stuff about faith. And this is Old Faithful, if you guys were not aware. Because Faith will, the minute I start complimenting her on how well she's doing. Hey, Shoestring. Pre-trip in 30, then 525. Not a bad day, right? 525 miles. But I think you said North Carolina, so depending, that could be, a sort of long route. But I've learned not to say a lot of good things or bad things about her because she will slam it in my face. So I now like to say that, we're getting where we're supposed to be on time without issue. That's what I will say. Because if I say anything beyond that, we'll have an issue. And if I talk bad about her, Staten Island. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. It's been a while since I've been on here, admittedly. Sometimes they say when, if you have negativity in your life, then remove it. The hard part about YouTube is that I have such great support, but then I have those people, and everybody will say it that does YouTube, that sometimes the overwhelming or the small amount of negativity overwhelms the positivity. I don't know why we allow that, but it's human nature. But then I was talking to Junior Honduras the other day, and he, had a really good point that, well, hello, nice to see you too. He had a really good point that, I had developed, a following, a community, friends. Hello, Quebec. Sounds great. We'll catch you on the replay. That not to leave you guys in the lurch. And I remember this, okay? I remember when I was going to come into trucking and, all interstate, no, no stoplights. Sweet. Oh, so you pull FedEx. DeKalb, Illinois, and then to Texas. I'm going to Arkansas, and then I'm making my way back home to Minnesota. So, but I didn't want to leave you guys because I had watched and I had become invested in other truckers' stories and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden, poof, they were gone. And it was like, what? How do you just leave? Yes, I'm alive. Hello, Kenworth. So while it is hard for me to come back on this app for good reasons, I want to come back on this app because of all of you guys, right, that have come in and said hello. You know, you obviously didn't leave me. You're here for a reason. And so, you know, if this is where you're at on this platform, then I want to be where you're at. So here I am. And, you know, for those that are thinking about coming into trucking, I don't know who's all on here or who will see this later in a replay. But, you know, I used to be like, you know, come on out here, you know, like get your CDL. And now I'm telling you to pause. I'm telling you to pause and telling you to think about, why do you want to come into trucking? Don't get caught up in the shiny baubles of YouTubers or TikTokers or any other platform. Because beyond the good hair days and the makeup's just right and the light and their sparkly truck, there's a lot of work. Grit, loneliness, all of that. So don't jump into this thinking you're going to be them at the minute you leave training. That's all I'm saying. I'm experiencing this more and more about the heartbreak of some people that are coming into the industry and it's not what they thought it was going to be, because it's not what's being depicted. It's not what's being depicted. Right? I mean, we've got to be honest about how we speak to these people about that want to come into the industry, no matter if they're 22 and, you know, short of going into the military or trucking, those are their options, right? Or somebody that wants to leave a professional career. I can speak to that. I built up my career and then I came into trucking. But, you know, we all have our war stories, our horror stories, our success stories, all, you know, everything. We wear our, you know, scars as badges of honor is out here. I think I just said some incorrect language there, but hey, Trucker Style Sean, I am in Florida. Yes, I'll be leaving shortly to get loaded and then go up to Arkansas. But I just really want to say, like, if you're having conversations at truck stops or on your own YouTube channels or whatever, just don't be so quick to tell people to come out and get their CDL. I'm seeing, I'm in Lake City right now. It's never what you think it is. I mean, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be when I came into trucking. Hey, Boot Heel. And I watched a lot of different YouTubers and a lot of different people, and you know, looking back, I don't think they really got to the heart of it, which is, oh, you were just through here? Yeah, I'm at the Loves. Crazy Florida Trucker, hello. I'm gonna get to that, Boot Hill, but I just see so many people that are like, have a, you know, the light in their eyes when they're in training, even though it's difficult. And you're welcome. Don't blame it on me, because I'm leaving. So, you know, but I've just seen so many people that are leaving because they don't think they can handle it and it's not what they thought. So I think if we're influencing their decisions, I think we have to be real. Like, this real shit happens out here to real people. There's real danger. And driving truck, we all know, after you've been doing it for a little bit, that's the easiest part, right? That's the easy part. It's everything else. You know, it's hard for me to look back and think about what my vision was coming into trucking. I often think about this, like, because I'll have people ask me today, like, so do you stay in a hotel every night? And I almost want to laugh at that, like, what? No, why? Here's me, like, in my mind, like, why would I stay in a hotel every night? Oh, wife wants to leave and then team with you. Well, I think if she's done her fair share of riding with you and knows what that's like, then she probably has a really good idea. Plus, you've probably shared some stories, not probably the worst of it, but she's probably better prepared than most. Yeah, I mean, you gotta laugh at it because, I mean, sure, there's people that drive day cabs or certain sort of trucks where they would probably stay in a hotel, but I drive a sleeper. And no, I don't stay in a hotel every night. Now, every once in a while, I will take a break and get a hotel on the road. I do it far more often now than I did when I was with Prime, because I run differently than I did back then. So I think to me, I thought trucking was going to be, I would pick up a load one day, deliver it, and then the next day I would probably get a load and then I would deliver it. And it's not like that. Like me, I want to deliver load, deliver load, deliver load, deliver load. It's just the hustle I have. As a woman, we have to get out of the truck and soak our body. Yeah, like, that's, women, you have to take care of your bodies out here. I mean, everybody has to take care of their bodies out here, right? And that's from everything you put inside of it, from food and water and soda and crap to hygiene. And LaDawn is making a really good point about women have to take extra care, you know? But I've been really good, you guys. I've been really, really good. And, you know, one of the things that that I wanted to touch on is that I've been in trucking now for over 4 years. Believe it or not, you guys have been putting up with me for that long. And, you know, I look back and I'm like, I'm not just a truck driver. And not to say that there's anything wrong with being a truck driver, right? But I brought my previous life into trucking. And when I say that, I'm like, okay, I set out to be a truck driver. That was in my mind what I was going to do. I was tired of managing people. I was tired of, you know, the P&Ls, and I was tired of budgets. And there's inevitably, you can't get away from that stuff. But when I looked at my 4 years and thought, what have I done in 4 years in trucking? Well, I don't know. I probably still am a greenhorn. Certainly a rookie in a lot of people's books. But, you know, I started to sort of celebrate where I'm at today because I didn't allow all of the people that said no, that I wasn't cut out for this, that I'll never be able to run my own truck, that I'll never have my own truck, all of that. You know, I just want to be like, told you so. Told you so. You know, because I got my CDL. I became a CDL instructor. I became an over-the-road truck driver. You know, I served on a driver advisory board. I was a Queen of the Road nominee. I, you know, worked through the pandemic. We carried freight through the pandemic. That in itself, you guys, we're going to have some stories to tell 10 years down the road, when people have forgotten about this, I will not forget about driving 78 east to New Jersey and there's not a car on the road. That is the eeriest moment where you're like, you know, the world has changed, even if it's for that day. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone when there is nobody on the road. But you know, like whether you've been in trucking for 6 months or 2 years, oh, thank you. Think about what you've accomplished. Craig, what is so hard about this industry, and why do you think people can't handle it? I think it's expectation. I think it's what people expect from this industry is not what they receive. And I think that everybody has to look at their own expectations, right? Like people will be, I heard this the other day, and it's really good, and I'm trying to remember who said it. Oh my gosh. Hopefully it'll come to me when I'm talking about this. But, you know, in this industry specifically, we deal with being alone a lot. And that is different than being lonely. Let me say that again. We deal with being alone a lot, which is different than being lonely. And this is what this person was talking about. And I feel bad that I cannot reference who this was because I didn't come up with this, but it really hit home to me. And that was, when you're alone, you have the ability to make all the decisions you want on how you want to spend that time, right? You can spend that time eating your heart out, working your heart out. You can spend it learning or sleeping, whatever the case may be. You have the ability and the freedom to make the decision when you are alone. When you're lonely, that's a state of mind that can be dark and dangerous. I'm alone a lot. I don't feel lonely. I have a huge support system. Jake is not on the truck right now. He had to go to the doctor and he's going to have surgery. But, you know, even without him, you know, it's different. I feel weird without having him on the truck with me. But keep that in mind, like when you think about it, like, do you feel alone, which is almost empowerment, right? Because you have the freedom to make all the decisions you want because you're not impacting anybody else. Or do you feel lonely? Two different things, very different things. And I now see, being a truck driver and how strong I am mentally, that I'm simply alone. And I'm okay with that because it's not a loneliness thing. It's the fact that I can call who I want when I want. I can stop where I want when I want. I can take the loads I want when I want. You know what I'm saying? So, Smitty, you think it's both? Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, so I mean, expectations. And I'm gonna say more about this in a different way soon. You'll hear more about it, but if you're in the industry, you have to do, we have a responsibility to do a better job to prepare people for coming in, because I don't think they have the right expectations, and then they feel like they're failing or falling short. Like, I hear so many people, and I was there, hi Angel, that I thought I was going to leave training and I was going to be able to back like 100% perfect. That was my expectation. Boy, was that wrong. So wrong. I mean, think about it. When you guys leave training, when we leave training, we can't back up worth a damn. I mean, can you back up, but it takes you maybe a half an hour or longer, or you never can hit the hole and you need help? Hey, Fairy Wire. I don't know if just people dislike it. I mean, they don't like the truth? I don't know. You have to basically exile yourself from the normal society. But you know what? Okay, so I challenge you this with Trucker Sean. What is normal? I do not want to be normal. And I've mentioned this before, like my entire life growing up. You remember your parents saying, nope, nobody's doing that. Stop doing that. Or you're not going to wear that. None of your friends wear that. Or why do you want to go there? None of your friends are going there. Or you as a kid say, well, mom, everybody else is doing it. That's fitting in. Like, and then when you go to get into a college, you have to stand out from everybody else. To get a job, you have to stand out from everybody else. I don't want to be normal. I can't be normal, okay? I'm weird. Whatever. I'm okay with that. But just say stepping away from society. That's such a bad thing right now. Right? Normal is boring. Be yourself. I absolutely agree with you. I think our world would be so different if everybody was just their self. And I think that's why so many people dislike millennials and the generation below them, because those guys get it. Self-confidence is another thing. I get you work alone and you make decisions. Let me go back. But being alone is dark, like you said. Depression seeps in when feeling alone. Same with real estate. Classes are overbooked because people see the rewards, but not the... Oh my gosh, I have a number of friends that went into real estate, and people are selling the dream. And I'm talking about like when you become an agent, right? Oh my gosh, you can make this percentage. I mean, think about the reality shows on the real estate agents out there killing it in New York or LA, or you know what I'm talking about. Come on, you guys. There is a real estate agent who has hit it like those guys, and then there's everybody grinding it out to buy groceries as a real estate agent. You gotta level set your expectations. I gotta go back and see some of these comments. Being an army wife prepared me to be okay with being alone. Oh, see, yeah. Could you imagine driving before cell phones? I don't know. I don't know. Because, I mean, our world is ever changing with technology, right? So I didn't go through that period. It's hard for me to put myself in it. I hear about the cowboys back in the day, and I'm, like the asphalt cowboys, where they were given a wad of money and they said, this is your pay and this is your fuel money, so get where you're supposed to be, because that's it, right? And then they would stop at the payphones and they would stop at the payphones and make calls. And I mean, some of the old phone booths still exist in some of the old truck stops, right? And it's so different to look at that and go, imagine one day that those were all filled with truckers trying to reach loved ones, or